All right, I'm on hole number 7 of the City of Lights tournament. I'm in Monday's qualifying round in the rookie division. I'm in my 99 account, so I got some low-level clubs. Let's go to hole number 7. All right. I do not like anything over here. Can you shoot over there? Yes. But I'm never going to demo shots over here. I don't see the. I mean, if you lay up over here, can you get around and get on? Yes. If you hit over here, it's very problematic to try and get up here. What I'm seeing, everybody that's trying to get over on this side, is you end up behind the trees. And why would I hit to a point where, when you're right here behind the trees, you can maneuver. When you're right here behind the trees, it blows. So I don't see the benefit of hitting on that side versus, you can do the shot here and try and bring it over and end up out here in front to try and get on. Now, if you don't have, now the problem with this is that you may have to bring out a bigger ball, or you may have to do some overpower. And when you're in this narrow of an area down here, the wind in this tournament is blowing this way. So we can scoot across that line. So wherever your red line's out here, it's just going to push you out further. So, if you're looking at a distance thing to try and get enough distance so you can clear on the other side, if you don't bring a big ball, you may have to put on some overpower, and then it's risky because if you put on, how much is too much overpower? You put on too much and you end up in the rough, or you end up in the drink. What I'm exploring here, and you can do this with a marlin, is coming out here. Let me pull back a little. It's coming out into this direction right here and going right at that light pole with my white ring right on the transition. Now I'm going to come in a little, because I found with my white ring on the transition that I'm clearing okay over here, but what it's doing is it's putting me so low that I'm actually clipping the rough on the other side right here. And so I'm going to come out a little bit from that flagpole, maybe one ring. So I'm going to be the white ring, one ring off from the transition here. Max topspin, max right hand side spin, max right hand curl, max overpower, and try the whole little deal and try and do a max overpower hook shot to end up here in the front. And what I found with a level 8 extra mile is I actually have been picking up so much distance that I'm actually running into the rough over here. So I'm coming down one top spin. So I think with a level 6 or below, you probably won't have that distance issue. So I'm going to try it out. But I am taking the wind out because the wind is a variable and I'm trying to eliminate as many variables as possible. So I'm going to try that shot just because I think if you've got lower developed stuff, this may be a very viable option for you to get on up there. And you're going to be coming at this, if you're in the right spot, with your wedge. And let's see what my most accurate wedge is. And dart's not much better. Not worth spending the coins to upgrade it just for this one shot. The boomerang is definitely not it, and the down and one blows. The down and one has great accuracy if you're doing a down and one, but with the ball guide, if you're trying to do a dunk, yeah, but if you're not trying to do a dunk, no. And that's the problem with the Fireflies. The Firefly is a poor man's rapier. It's the beginning guy's rapier. So if you got lower developed clubs, what it does give you is that topspin. So if you're really close to the green, you can try and run it up there. What I'd really like to be is in my Kingfisher range, where I can do a little bit of backspin, and I got pretty decent ball guide. So let's take a marlin and an extra mile. And let me write this number down for my Firefly. It's 3.9. So that's basically 40% accurate. So that's 2.2. So Firefly is 2.2. And my Kingfisher is going to hit 2.4 if I'm in minimum Kingfisher. And hopefully I'm going to be in minimum Kingfisher. Let's open up the pin chest, get another one started. Let's open up a chest. Always want an empty slot if you're working on clubs. And off we go. We will try this with try it and see what happens. Now I may not need to come in, now that I start to think about it, with a level 7 or a level 8 extra mile you got like 47 curl, and with a level 6 you only have 30. So I actually don't think I need to come in with my upper level stuff. With my upper level stuff, I need to go out about a half a ring, maybe a ring. But with this one, right with my white ring right on the transition, then take out the wind, that might be the perfect spot. Let's try it out. White ring on the transition. Let's take the wind out. It's about 2 1/3 rings. Maximum. Okay, that's the first time I've ever taken that shot with this account. Let's see how it works out. I like the spot. Not quite enough distance to clear the trees. I needed to come in just a little bit so that I wouldn't have clipped down there where I clipped. So I actually need to come in maybe half, quarter of a ring. I have to go back and watch the video and see where my landing zone was here to make sure I have enough room. And that way I won't clip the rough on the other side. But that puts you, there's a narrow little path there, because if you're in too far, you'll clip that rough on the other side. So I think I do have enough room there to come in about a half a ring. And that would have netted me quite a bit more distance. It would have netted me enough distance that I would have cleared the... Okay, so from where my opponent's at right there, yes, you can hit underneath the trees and get over here, but where's your shot at the green? I don't see the benefit in that. I mean, I really don't. I'm not so worried about those trees. I'm worried about distance here. Let's see what kind of curl I got on this club. Just walking it around the trees, trying to get it up there onto the green. Now, if you've got upper developed clubs, or you got an account with upper developed clubs, that shot right there is not a give me, but it's very, very makeable. With lower developed clubs, when you're just a little bit off the green, boy, I'll tell you. Yeah, so where's your shot there? And you did that to yourself. I'm not a fan. And you can see they're going to make it mostly through the trees, and then they're going to hit. I don't see the benefit of hitting on that side, anywhere on that side, laying up on that side or anything. I mean, if you can get to the point where you can take a wedge shot and go at the green, that's got to be the shot. This hole is just so problematic with how much drop it has on it. If you hit it great to the right here, you're sunk. I'm going to come off just a little because it's going to drop, and maybe that'll open up a great to the right. Ideally, let's just hit it perfect. And I hit it great to the left. And in the hole. And you can see it was right flagpole high, so a perfect would have barely clipped the cup, and a great to the right would have missed completely. And there's a lot of drop right there. It's not wind, it's gravity. It's the slope of that hill. So you want to start off when you're on those hills, and there are several holes in Parc de Paris, and when you're coming at them, you need to start off a little bit to the left, because the hill's going to force the ball to the right, and it's not a wind effect, it's a gravity. And that's what I'm talking about. You can be that far away with upper developed clubs, and that's a very makeable shot, and with lower developed clubs it's very easy to miss. Alright, that was hole number 7. So that's something to work on there. That's a shot that you can think about if you're having lots of problems on that hole, and you're not giving yourself, if you've got lower developed stuff and you believe that the only shot is to hit over here, I would explore something else. You can hit over to this area, but you got to be way up there. If you draw the line, you got to be in front of that line in order to clear those trees so you have a straight in shot, and that's pretty difficult to stick it into that small of an area at the end of a run. So if you're shooting that shot, you really want to dial in your top spin so that you got it right in that area, and it's just such a narrow landing zone. I think the shot you're going to see most people doing is coming into this area with a bigger ball trying to get it over, but if you've got lower developed stuff and you don't have any curl, and this account doesn't have an apocalypse, so I'm stuck with an extra mile with 30 curl, this shot here can be very difficult. It's very easy to end up in the sand, it's very easy to end up in the rough. You take a big risk of getting into the water. This max overpower hook shot over here is not that it's a safe shot, but it does give you a viable option to get over with a marlin. So from where I landed, I clipped the rough right here. I did have a little bit of a window from this rough right here, and if you draw that, this is my window that I'm looking to try and go through. I could have came in, I was white ring on the transition, I could have come in and maybe a half a ring and then take the wind out and try and eke myself through this so that I can land on the fairway over here, because the distance I lost when I hit that rough, that distance would have put me out here in the clear where I would have had a nice straight in shot. That's the shot that I'm going to be working on in this account, because I think it's my best shot to get out here in the clear to give me a short iron to the green. Alright, that was hole number 7 of the City of Light tournament and Monday's qualifying round in the rookie division. Thanks for watching.